Hello. Today, I am going to show why this equation is true. So what I'll do first is I'll look at the left side of this equation here. That is, I want to find out what is this number. To find out what this number is here, I want to look at this number, the exponents of this number over here. So here, I would like to write this out. So here, I noticed that I'm faced with a negative exponent again. In this case, it's minus 3. So I'm going to write this as a fraction over 1, like so. And then I'm going to flip the fraction. Notice how this negative exponent now becomes a positive exponent. So the next step I'm going to do is I'm going to rewrite this with minus 1 here. So this is negative 1 times 2 to the power of 3 at the bottom here. So negative 1 to the power of 3 equals to negative 1. So with that in mind, I can rewrite it. So first I write this. Then I write this. Now I multiply the bottom and the top of this fraction here by minus 1. And what I get here is minus 1 over 2 to the 3. Going back to the original equation here, I'm going to now show why this is true. So 5 to the negative 2 to negative 3 equals to 5 to the negative 1 over 2 to the 3. So notice again that I have a negative exponent here. So I'm going to rewrite this. First of all, I'm going to put a minus 1, my bad, I meant a 1 underneath there. And then I'm going to flip the fraction. So this is the fraction, and I just flipped it. Notice now the exponent here is positive, whereas this one was originally negative. Now I write this. Now the last step is notice that any number to the power of 1/2 equals to the square root of the number. We have 3 1/2s here. So we would like to kind of take advantage of this fact here. So before we do that, I'm going to do a few more steps. So first I'm going to group the 3 1/2s like this. Then I'm going to move one number on the inside and one number on the outside, like so. Then I'm going to do the same thing on the inside. Now I'm going to change the 1/2s to square roots. So the outermost 1/2 becomes the outermost square root. The middle 1/2 becomes the middle square root. And the innermost 1/2 is the inner square root. I put a 5 there. So to recap, I used fractions and square roots to show that this equals to this. There you have it. That is your answer. If this topic is interesting to you, please subscribe to my channel.